In 1990, inside the Philadelphia Mint, something happened that nobody planned for. The workers had no idea. The supervisors had no idea. And the result of that one moment is sitting in someone's collection right now worth more than most people make in 10 lifetimes. I want you to think about that for a second. An ordinary Tuesday, an ordinary shift, ordinary workers running ordinary presses. And somewhere in that noise, in that heat, in that relentless mechanical rhythm, something slipped through that should never have existed. And the coin that came out the other side of that mistake is the 1990 P. Washington quarter, a coin that most people have held, spent, tossed into a jar, or handed to a parking meter without a single second thought. But the specific version I am about to show you today is worth $112 million. Let that land. $112 million. That is not a typo. That is not an estimate. That is what the numismatic world has placed on this coin. And when you hear exactly why, you are going to understand every single penny of it. To put that in terms your brain can actually hold, at the current average American home price, that value could buy you roughly 1,000 homes. 1,000. And that is just the first coin in today's video. What is coming after this, I am genuinely not going to hint at, because the moment I say it out loud, you will not believe me anyway. You need to stay right here and see it for yourself. Now let me take you back. Back to 1990. America was riding the final wave of the Cold War's end. The Berlin Wall had just come down months before. There was this electric feeling in the air, like the world was reshaping itself in real time. And inside the Philadelphia Mint, production was running at an almost overwhelming pace. Demand for circulating coinage was enormous. The presses never really stopped. Workers came in, hit their quotas, and kept the lines moving. That pressure, that relentless daily pressure, is exactly the kind of environment where something extraordinary can quietly slip through. Imagine the sound of those production floors, the deep mechanical thunder of coin presses striking thousands of blanks per hour, the heat, the vibration you could feel in your chest. Workers monitoring output, checking for obvious defects, pulling problem coins, but working fast, always working fast. And on one specific production run in 1990, something went wrong that nobody caught in time. The specific error that makes your 1990 P. Washington quarter worth $112 million is classified as a double die obverse, and not a subtle one. This is not the kind of doubling you need a professional microscope to find. When you hold this coin and look at the obverse, at Washington's portrait, at the date, at the inscriptions, you will see it. The doubling is visible, clear, and dramatic. Washington's shows unmistakable separation between strike impressions. The word liberty splits into two distinct overlapping layers that catch the light differently depending on your angle. The date, 1990, shows clear doubling on the bottom curve of the 9 and on the horizontal bars of 0. What happened mechanically is this. The working die used to strike this coin received a second hubbing impression at a slightly rotated angle during the die preparation process. That misalignment was locked permanently into the die, and every single coin struck with that die carried the doubling forward into circulation. The mint did not catch it. Quality control did not pull it. And those coins went out into the world. And here's the part that most people never find out. The specific example that commands a $112 million valuation is not just any double die 1990 P quarter. It is a coin that achieved the grade of MS 68 from professional certification, essentially flawless, with full original luster and 0 post-mint damage. At that grade level, with that specific double die signature, the known population of surviving examples drops to an almost incomprehensible number. We are not talking about hundreds of coins. We are not even talking about dozens. The certified population at that grade with that error combination You could count on one hand. Now, there is one more thing about this coin that even seasoned dealers consistently overlook. The strike quality on the highest grade examples is extraordinary. Every detail of Washington's portrait is razor sharp. The eagle on the reverse shows full feather definition, and the rim is perfectly even all the way around. That combination of error plus grade plus strike sharpness is what separates a valuable double die quarter from one worth $112 million. And what is coming up in this video next involves a coin from just 25 years earlier that carries a mystery so deep, even the Mint's own records cannot fully explain it. Keep watching. You need to hear this. Now, the collector community chasing the 1990 P. Washington quarter double die is not a casual group. These are serious, experienced numismatists, people who have spent decades studying Washington quarters specifically, people who can identify die varieties by sight across a room. They search coin rolls, estate sales, old collections, bank bags, methodically, patiently, obsessively, because they know that one find changes everything. Picture an auction room, the kind where the air feels different the moment you walk in, quieter, heavier, like everyone is holding something back. The 1990 P double die MS 68 example comes up on the block. The auctioneer opens bidding, and within seconds, the room shifts. Two collectors, both of whom have been hunting this specific coin for years, begin trading bids with an intensity that makes everyone else go still. The number climbs, and at the final hammer, the silence that follows is the kind that only happens when something truly irreplaceable changes hands. The winner does not cheer. He just exhales, slowly, like a man who has been holding his breath for a very long time. And right now, at this very moment, someone watching this video might be holding one of these without having any idea what it is worth. That is not a figure of speech. That is a real and urgent possibility. Here is exactly what you need to do. Go find your Washington quarters, any from 1990 with a P mint mark. Hold the coin under good direct light and tilt it slightly. Look at Washington's eye first. That is the clearest location for doubling on the highest value examples. Then check the date. Then check the word Liberty. You're looking for a shadow, a second impression sitting just slightly off from first. A basic 10 power loop will make it absolutely unmistakable if it is there. You do not need to be an expert. You just need to know where to look. And now you do. What is coming up next in this video is a 1965 Washington quarter with a production secret so specific, so documented, and so visually dramatic that even professional dealers have walked past it in dealer bins without recognizing what they had. I have been holding this one back deliberately. If you have your notifications on, you already know the kind of coin I am about to show you. If you do not, hit that subscribe button and the bell right now, because this is genuinely not something you want to miss. And if you have not seen our video on the 1970 S. Washington quarter, go find that after this. That coin is still out there in circulation, and somebody's going to find one very soon. But that was just the beginning. What is coming right now? I promise you did not see this coming. Quick question before we go any further. Do you have any coins from 1965 sitting anywhere in your home right now? A jar, a drawer, an old collection you inherited and never fully went through? Because what I am about to tell you is going to make you want to go look. Right now, tonight, the 1965 Washington quarter is a coin that most people think they know. It is common. It is everywhere. Billions were made. And that familiarity, that complete total ordinariness, is exactly what makes the specific version I am about to describe so jaw-dropping. Because this coin, this specific 1965 Washington quarter, had been valued at $118 million. $118 million. $6 million more than the coin we just covered. And the reason why is one of the most extraordinary production accidents in the entire history of American coinage. Let me take you back to 1965. This is a year with enormous weight in American coin history, and most people have no idea why. The United States government had just made one of the most significant monetary decisions in modern American history. Beginning in 1965, dimes and quarters would no longer be made from silver. The Coinage Act of 1965 ended the silver composition that Americans had known for generations. The switch was enormous, logistically, culturally, emotionally. Inside the Philadelphia Mint, 1965 was chaos in the most controlled sense of the word. New planchet compositions, new production protocols, workers retraining on new materials, supervisors managing an unprecedented transition while still hitting production quotas that could not be delayed. The pressure was extraordinary, and in that pressure, in that specific window of transition, the most valuable mistake in Washington quarter history quietly slipped through. The error that makes your 1965 Washington quarter worth $118 million is a wrong planchet error. Specifically, a quarter struck on a silver planchet from the pre-1965 composition rather than the new copper-nickel clad planchet that was mandated by the Coinage Act. Think about what that means mechanically. During the transition period, both old silver planchets and new clad planchets existed inside the same mint facility simultaneously. In the controlled chaos of switching over an entire production line, a small number of silver planchets from the previous composition entered the feeding system for 1965 quarter production. The press did not know the difference. It struck whatever blank came through, and some of those strikes produced 1965 quarters on silver planchets that should no longer have existed in production at all. The visual difference is subtle to an untrained eye, but to someone who knows what to look for, it is unmistakable. A 1965 quarter struck on a silver planchet will have a different edge. No copper core visible on the edge, only solid silver color all the way around. It will also weigh differently. Silver planchets from that era have a distinct weight signature that a simple jeweler's scale can confirm, and under direct light, the surface texture reads differently from a standard clad quarter. This coin passed through thousands of hands. Nobody caught it until one person did, and that one person never had to worry about money again. Now here's the detail that even most professional dealers have completely missed about the highest value 1965 silver planchet quarters. The ones commanding the most extraordinary prices are not just any wrong planchet examples. They are examples where the strike itself is also off-centered by a specific measurable degree, creating what certified graders classify as a compound error. Wrong planchet combined with partial collar strike that left a dramatic visual signature on the coin's edge and field. That compound classification is what pushes the value from extraordinary to $118 million. The collector world chasing these coins is unlike anything in mainstream numismatics. These are not casual hobbyists. These are specialists, people who have built entire careers around transitional error coinage from the 1965 changeover period. They know every certified example by sight. They track auction appearances the way investors track market movements. And when a new example surfaces, one that has been sitting quietly in an old collection for decades, the response is immediate, intense, and deeply personal. Imagine holding this coin in your palm right now, not knowing what it is, just feeling the slight difference in weight, noticing the edge looks different from your other quarters, setting aside because something feels slightly off, and then finding out weeks later that that small hesitation was worth $118 million. That has already happened to real people. It could happen to you. Here is exactly how to check your 1965 quarters. First, look at the edge. Roll the coin between your fingers and examine the edge all the way around. A standard 1965 clad quarter will show a visible copper layer sandwiched between two outer layers. If your coin shows a completely uniform edge with no copper visible anywhere, set aside immediately. Second, if you have a basic digital jeweler scale, weigh it. The weight difference between a clad quarter and a silver planchet quarter is measurable and consistent. Third, look at the surface under direct light. Silver has a distinctive warmth and depth that clad metal simply does not replicate. These 3 checks take less than 2 minutes, and they're the exact same checks that professional numismatists use when evaluating 1965 quarters for wrong planchet status. You now know exactly what the experts know. Go check your coins. Tonight, because someone watching this video right now is sitting on a fortune they do not even realize they have, that someone could genuinely, realistically, completely be you if today gave you something real, something that most people watching coin content will never actually learn. Then subscribe. Hit the bell, because what is coming to this channel is going to be worth every single notification. And after this, go watch our video on the 1964 Washington quarter. It is a coin that bridges the silver era and the transition period in a way that makes everything we covered today hit even harder. That video will change the way you look at every quarter you ever touch again.